CBS 13 News is on your side, live at 5:30.
Because I know in my heart that he worries about me, and I know he sees me struggling. And even though I put a bright smile on, it's just still so difficult.
Tonight, sharing her story. This month marks 2 years since a Westbrook High School graduate was gunned down inside a Portland recording studio.
19-year-old Trey Arsenal was murdered by a man police say he didn't even know. Gang Dang Majok is serving a 30-year prison sentence for that crime. Majok is not a U.S. citizen, and the victim's mother wants to know why the man who murdered her son wasn't deported long ago.
The I-Team investigates and discovers a complicated and confusing immigration system that allows some criminals to stay.
But now you have it all framed. And
for mom Nancy Arsenal, memories of her son Trey are always around her.
It makes me happy. I kiss his face all the time, every morning. Makes me feel like he's here with me.
Gang Majok, who goes by the street name Bang Bang, was convicted in March of murdering Trey in Portland's Old Port 2 years ago.
And I know the shots he sustained, and he just suffered. And they tried in surgery to save his life. They told me that he was gone.
Gripped by grief, Arsenal says it shouldn't have happened because she believes the man who murdered her son shouldn't have even been in the country.
And I was mortified that someone of this nature wasn't already in jail or deported.
During sentencing, the judge said Majok is not a U.S. citizen.
I'm totally sorry for my actions.
In a previous interview with CBS 13, Majok's mother told us she brought her son to Portland from South Sudan in 2002.
We're hoping the kid go to school, learn everything, do the good job. We don't come here, the kid bawling, the bad thing, the crimes, we don't like it.
But an I-Team investigation found a pile of criminal cases against Majok going back more than a decade. His first conviction was for an assault in 2006. He was also found guilty of 10 other charges before the murder.
You don't clearly deserve being here because you're just committing crimes. I just don't understand why there's not laws in place to prevent things like this from happening.
We brought that question to Portland immigration attorneys Cynthia Arn and Marcus Janes.
It's incredibly complicated.
I printed something out.
Together, we reviewed Majok's record.
Yeah, it's concerning, and it's concerning to all of us, really.
They say it appears, based on current immigration law, any charges that could have made Majok eligible for deportation before the murder were dismissed, including drug trafficking charges. Majok was also charged with domestic violence and criminal mischief involving his ex-girlfriend. In that case, she told police, Majok was stalking her, banging on her door, yelling, "I will kill you," expletive, "I'm going to kidnap your kids." The charges were dismissed after Majok pleaded guilty to assault in connection with another case.
They were all misdemeanors.
According to the Department of Justice, right now only aggravated felonies and crimes of so-called moral turpitude are grounds for deportation.
It basically means crimes that require like a bad intent.
Arn and Jane say depending on the prosecutor, there can be sympathy within the criminal justice system, especially in cases involving refugees and asylum seekers.
They don't necessarily need to have the further punishment of being removed from the place that they call home or from their family and being deported.
Records from the Bureau of Prisons show 22% of federal inmates are not U.S. citizens. The Maine Department of Corrections couldn't provide similar data, but Arsenal says she doesn't need statistics.
You need to go. If you're caught with drugs, if you have a gun, if you're being violent, if you're hurting people, you don't belong here.
We wanted to talk with Cumberland County District Attorney Stephanie Anderson about her decisions to dismiss charges against Majok, but a spokeswoman for her office said the district attorney would not be able to provide comment on this issue.
By and large, I don't have a lot of those cases in my team.
Kennebec County District Attorney Megan Maloney told us in most cases she would not consider what happens after a conviction.
Whatever the immigration consequences are whatever they are. I'm not a part of that, but I'm certainly not going to treat that case differently.
The Public Safety and Protection Act.
State Representative Larry Lockman says he's sickened by the Majok case and would like to see tougher immigration laws.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you're here as our guest, and you better be on your best behavior. One strike, you're out.
He's introduced a bill that would require Maine prosecutors and police to work more closely with federal agencies on immigration issues and enforcement, or risk losing state funding.
The fight for justice.
A large crowd protested the proposal last month before a public hearing.
Asking local law enforcement to become immigration officials is a terrible diversion of resources and expertise.
Nancy Arsenal says she supports immigrants.
That's what makes our country so beautiful. We need to help other people.
But she'll also support tougher immigration laws in honor of the son she lost.
I miss him.
These memories filling her heart with love.
And he made me really proud as a mom.
And fueling her fire for change.
Just knowing that that happened to him is just, it's heartbreaking because it should have never happened.
Majok recently pleaded guilty to 2 other felonies: elevated aggravated assault for shooting a man in the back outside a bar, and aggravated drug trafficking. The judge in the Majok case says Majok will be deported to Sudan when he's released from prison after serving his 30-year sentence in Maine. The U.S. Department of Justice told us the list of crimes requiring deportation is, quote, outdated and pending revision.